right. Good noon, everyone, and welcome back to the 5-digit United States Cup. That's right, it is noon, just about on the dot. We are back with some more Major League action on the B stream. Of course, we have two other matches going on simultaneously on the A stream. That is another Major League match, Ohio A versus Virginia A, two mid-seed teams. And then on the C stream, we have Michigan B versus Illinois C. A little bit of a seeding disparity there, but still fairly close matchup. And over here on the B stream, that is what you are watching right now. It is North California A up against Wisconsin A, probably the largest seed disparity of the three matches we have going on right now. I am your caster in the booth for this one. I am Bless, here to welcome you all to a good afternoon as the clock strikes noon over here in California. It's already well past noon in Wisconsin, or wherever else you might be watching from, I'm sure. But we do have the roles coming out, potential looking to have won the role for Wisconsin. So going to be choosing between the pick and ban order, and we will see that get underway shortly. So looking at these two teams, of course, NorCal, much higher seeded and a very high pedigree team. There's no real way to sugarcoat it. They are the obvious favorites in this match. Seed 4 overall in all of Major League. But we do have to give some credit to Wisconsin where credit is due. It is still round of 32. It is very much so low SR, and anything can happen on low SR as we've been seeing this entire weekend. I don't think we've seen too many upsets yet, but of course the bulk of our matches still yet to come. So I'm sure we'll see a couple here and there. This Wisconsin team looking to be a little bit scattered at the moment, unfortunately, however. Greeny 111 recently coming back from a 9-month-long study abroad in Japan, you know, because everyone is just going there these days, especially with the yen being so weak and all. But yeah, they are in the process of derusting. And then another one of their players, Life Water, he is in Austria right now, and he'll supposedly be back in 2 weeks, I think, by around Grand Finals. But it's going to be an evening match for him. I'm not sure what kind of setup he has going on for himself. But yeah, one of their Hard Rock players, so it's quite unfortunate for them that they're in such a situation. The Hard Rock scores looking really weak in qualifiers. I'm not sure if they were in Austria and just on a terrible setup back then, and they've since improved their setup. But depending on how that situation is playing out, these Hard Rock scores for Wisconsin might be telling a little bit of a false story to NorCal in terms of their pick strategy. But for now, we do see the bans coming out. It's going to be Nomad 2 for Wisconsin. A little bit of a tapping weakness. So yeah, definitely just wanting to avoid the NorCal tapping, of course. NorCal having that 5WC winner all the way back from 2025 when the United States won the 5-digit World Cup, ASA 3, core part of that tapping roster, and once again returning for a run with NorCal in 5USC Major League. And then NorCal coming in with the Nomad 1 and DT1 ban. Very sensible bans, not just because Wisconsin are such a lower seed compared to NorCal, but also those were the two highest seeded maps for Wisconsin. The only two maps that they got a single-digit seeding on, in fact. 5th on the Nomad 1 and 9th on the DT1. So no doubts about their ability to potentially get some or multiple FCs on this lower SR pool. And a Flex 1 ban to round it out for Wisconsin. Probably just feeling some discomfort on the high CS combined with the rhythm gimmick of the map. Not feeling comfortable picking that into not just a high skill cap team, but also an incredibly strong gimmick team. Another 5WC player in Zurium, or also known as Skyzy, also sitting over on the other side of the bench. And we are getting into this DT1 as Wisconsin's first pick. So we have in the lobby Potential, Horsey, and Slugcat at the moment. Slugcat recently getting poached from Florida and coming over to Wisconsin. They do play Hard Rock and a little bit of aim, so they are quite comfortable on the high AR mechanics. And they're quite well-rounded as well. Of course, Potential, the captain of the team, and basically playing everything minus some low AR and then maybe some of the speed maps at high SR. But over on the other side, we do have Annoying Maniac, the captain, and a very strong high AR player, also accompanied by AJ Mosca and Enmil, also known as Noobish Person, coming back to the 5-digit United States Cup after a good break. AJ Mosca, of course, winning Minor League last year, and also incredibly strong on these DT4, DT alt types of maps. Getting a really good score in our tryouts, beating a lot of people by a really long shot. And they are showing some of that proficiency already as we are into the thick of things. It's actually going to be a Noobish Person to trade a delayed miss with Slugcat, and things that does give a slight combo advantage over to Wisconsin, as the score lead should start slowly climbing back in their favor. A little bit of troubles on the accuracy, and actually there goes Annoying Maniac. Can be traded out by Horsey, so things still staying even, and actually this 80k scoreline is not budging, and there goes Potential. Actually, that could just send things in the wrong direction, as AJ Mosca still holding on to this FC, showing some of that prowess and comfort that they also showed in our tryouts. Noobish Person will find another break on their combo recovery. And actually, AJ Mosca gonna be going down at the end, and hold on, there's still a little bit of time left in the map. Slugcat does have recovery, and there are small recoveries on Horsey and Potential. So the scoreline is slowly coming back their way. And I think there's still a little bit of combat density left. It's going to be close, 60k, 50k. That score lead is quickly going back their way, but there goes Slugcat, not able to finish the recovery. And yeah, that is just going to keep things comfortably enough in the pockets of NorCal. A pretty good first pick for Wisconsin, but not quite enough to take it. And they will be giving up a break point to the higher seed. S rank from AJ Mosca, the only S rank in the lobby. And yeah, NorCal just ever so slightly, a little bit more firepower. You know, their supporting combos struggling a little more, particularly on the side of Noobish Person, but the star power from AJ Mosca and even Annoying Maniac over there with almost 700k score is going to be just enough to steal that first point away as they go into a quick, easy one pick. Now, looking at this Wisconsin roster, they do not seem to like the easy. 30th seed on that in the qualifiers, 700k team score. So it's going to be looking a little rough. Also, believe some of their players are not exactly the most easy inclined, but Potential can definitely all round this. Horsey also, I believe they'll be pretty comfortable on this. They're a pretty good hidden gimmick player. And then after that it really is just their choice of fill, whoever they want, whoever has practiced the map. Most likely between Greeny and Slugcat, as they do seem to be the two most well-rounded players. The remaining two players, Lemonade and Lifewater, being more hard rock pilled. Probably not going to be enjoying the low AR from this ease pick. And we do see Potential and Horsey accompanied by Greeny here. So seeming like he was the one to practice this one. A little bit of a surprise to see Wisconsin leave this one up into... I mean, it really is pretty hard to figure out what to ban against this NorCal squad, because no matter where you go, if you're going into high AR mechanics, you have to play into cursing and Noobish Person, and if you're going into tapping, then you have to go into Asa and AG Mosca, and if you're going into gimmick, then you're once again playing into Asa and even Cytosine. Welcome back, Cytosine, into the 5-digit tournament scene. Everyone loves Cytosine. Except for some people in NorCal. Everyone hates Cytosine here, but we also love him at the same time. But we are going to be getting into this easy here. Some structural reading. Fortunately, if you do listen to the song, then it is quite obvious on when you should be tapping. But if you're not super comfortable on the low AR, then we've seen accidents happen, and there's going to be the first of the accidents in this map. Both Potential and Horsey dropping their combos early in this map. It only gets harder and harder as it goes on, you know, just increasing the note density as the song ramps up. And here we go into the second sequence in the development of the main motif of the song. And NorCal still holding incredibly comfortable in SS and 299s, all on FCs, and it's just Greeny on the FC for Wisconsin, and this score line is quickly getting out of hand, as especially Greeny missing on some aim there even. And we are going into the hardest section of the map, the most dense section of the map. And yeah, there's not much left to say about this one. Just gonna be looking on the side of NorCal to see just how much team score they can get, how far up that stats leaderboard they can climb. A little bit of a troll rhythm pattern coming up soon, I believe. But no, it seems like we've passed it, and everyone will be holding onto their FCs. That is a three-way 99 for 1.4, almost 1.5 million team score, and NorCal looking incredibly comfortable on that pick. Wisconsin putting up some decent scores as well, all above 200k, but it is nowhere near enough when you're going up against such a high seed of star-studded players like the ones we see in this lobby. And yeah, as Potential is remarking in the lobby, the most California score of all time. Of course, AJ Mosca on that minor league winning roster from last year, off the back of straight dominance on easy throughout the entire tournament, really. Every single team banning easy and hidden 2 into them until the late rounds, I think, and then when we had 2 easies in the pools, when they would double ban easy and get their free reign of picks in the hidden pool. Except for that one match in grand finals, I believe it was New York who left one of the easies open for them. They decided to take their chances and got brutally punished, summarily. But that is enough about the easy. Fortunately for Wisconsin, there is only one easy in this week's pool, and actually for a while in this tournament, I believe all the way up until Grands it was, although we might see an easy in one of those flex slots in one of the earlier rounds, as we did see the easy 2 coming into the pools from semifinals last year. Could see something like that. It is going to be the DT2 pick for now. Their tapping did look a little bit rough in qualifiers, but this map is significantly easier than any of the tapping maps you saw in quals, especially compared to Windtails. That one did have a bit of some stamina tapping strain if you're not really used to the BPM, the bursts. This one more so about some raw finger control with a little bit of aim mechanics mixed in, and then there's a couple of long bursts towards the end of the map. But yeah, we will mostly, we do see Wisconsin just sticking with their main 2-man duo of Potential and Horsey. We can probably see them in for most maps. And they will be accompanied by Greeny as their 3rd man. Greeny not really liking the stamina picks normally, but it does seem like this map's within the bounds of what they can play. The longer bursts at the end not being too straining for them. On the other side, for North California, we do see AJ Mosca and Asa coming in. Of course, 2 of the strong tapping players. This time accompanied by Endmill, Noobish Person. We are getting right into things. A couple Bancho breaks in the intro, it looks like. But yeah, this map, it is some finger control. Going to be seeing Greeny break on that little cut pattern as we head into the first KI section. That is a small score lead over to NorCal at the moment. Actually, Potential holding 99% AC. So that is what is going to be keeping most of the scoreline in check, especially with AJ Mosca all the way down at 94%. Actually, Endmill also matching the 99 Potential. Unfortunately, there goes Greeny again, once again dropping the combo. And that is going to further slowly draw this one into the favor of NorCal. 150k is the name of the game, as Greeny really continuing to struggle on this map as we go into a little bit more intense finger control sections, some slider rhythms to read and parse out, and he will continue to struggle. Unfortunate for Greeny not having the best of times on this, but with this being Major League and all, even the smallest of discomforts like that will be enough to decide maps, and we might be seeing that. Hold on though, AJ Mosca finding a weird miss aim, gonna be drawing in the smoke out of frustration. But the score lead not so quick to go back the other way. We do still have a couple longer bursts waiting in the back of this map, as well as the rest of this third Ki. So there's still potentially time for them to bring it back, but I think they would still need another break from either one of Asa or Noobish Person. And there goes Potential. And with that, there goes the potential for Wisconsin to take this one back. I think they're just going to be giving up a second break point over to NorCal. Yeah, especially with this 250k score lead. Even with Noobish Person breaking into the ending here, it is not going to be enough. Asa holding on to that FC is, or sorry, excuse me, not the FC, the reverse choke. That is going to be more than enough to secure NorCal their second break point as they look to consolidate on their pick next. Props to Horsey actually for being, I believe, the only FC in the lobby. But unfortunately, not enough support. Greeny struggling a little too much on that map. And NorCal is going to go into a very quick Hard Rock 2 pick. Very quick and confident. Now, I do believe this is where we'll be seeing a checkup on Lemonade O and Lifewater. See how they are faring, if Lifewater has a setup from Austria, or if he's just having to sit this one out. Probably just seeing Potential in as the third, as they do seem to just be the star player for this team. We're actually seeing Horsey in for this one as well. Not the most known for their ability to play Hard Rock, usually just more in for the hiddens and some tapping. But they are able to play it. Now, yeah, as we're seeing in chat, they're able to play it, but it's more so they're being forced to play it. And I think that does tell the story of Lifewater not having a setup to play with from Austria. And interestingly enough, Lemonade not coming in despite being quite good on the Hard Rock and finger control stuff. On the other side, for NorCal, we do of course have Annoying Maniac. He is going to be all-rounder for all these sorts of Hard Rock and DT mechanics picks. Sitting out on the DT2 simply due to the tapping nature of it, but we did see him on that DT3 earlier. Going to be coming back in for the Hard Rock 2 Precision. This time accompanied by Noobish Person and Cytosine. You know, not many people know about this. He has sort of just been gaslighting everyone into thinking he's only a Reading and No Mod 3 player, but this guy does enjoy quite a bit of Hard Rock, and he is quite good at the mod as well. But yeah, we are into this Hard Rock 2 here. Just some awkward, linear, wide angle cut patterns with some sliders, and of course a little bit of awkward tapping thanks to the rap nature of this track. We did have someone look inside the editor for this one, and there are a lot of red lines, and we're going to be seeing red lines on the UR bars of Slugcat and potential as they find their first 2 misses of the map. As NorCal still looking to hold on to their 3 FCs. Accuracy looking a little bit suspect on Annoying Maniac and Cytosine, but not looking too much better on the side of Wisconsin. Although things do start to look up for them with Noobish Person dropping their FC, the highest accuracy FC on the side of NorCal. And Horsey, you know, despite being forced to play this and not really enjoying the Hard Rock, doing the best for his team at the moment, still holding on to the lone FC. As there goes Potential again, dropping the recovery. So they still need more breaks to come in from NorCal, and especially with Slugcat, that is not going to be doing much good at all for the chances of Wisconsin. But hold on here, there goes Annoying Maniac and Endmill. One more FC down, and it's just Cytosine to hold on, and the score difference isn't too big at the moment, actually. 85k. Horsey still holding on to this FC, by the way. 95% accuracy as well, halfway through the map. And Potential and Slugcat building up their recoveries as there goes Cytosine, and this score is going to start to go over 30k and quickly, rapidly decreasing. And in just a moment, there it goes in the favor of Wisconsin. They might be just finding their break point in the most unlikely of places. They seem to have caught NorCal off guard with this one. You know, a million team score difference in the Quals Hard Rock 2, but that matters not. This SR is far lower, and Horsey holding on to this FC still into the last quarter of the map. It is not Potential, it is not Slugcat, but it is Horsey, the hidden player, to hold on to this full combo into the ending, still holding really good Act 2. And despite his team falling apart around him, NorCal just has no FCs left on the board. They have some nice recoveries, but is not enough. Endmill dropping the recovery again, and Horsey, oh my goodness.
I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. Sometimes I did.
Horsey with the full combo. He's going to be hitting tab while this spinner goes to just check the score. And he knows what he just did. This man knows what's up. Break point for Wisconsin on the Hard Rock 2.
So I went running for answers.
NorCal's going to be the one running for answers after that one. And yeah, this is how upsets begin. It starts with a little bit of a pop-off like this. You see the super consistent team scores on the other side, and maybe a couple of your buddies are struggling to match those on average. But then you see Horsey pulling out an incredible full combo for a huge break point. We've seen a lot of the higher seeds smacking down the lower seeds into the losers bracket so far this weekend. But Wisconsin saying they're not going down so quietly. They got some fight in them with this one. And that does leave NorCal in a little bit of a stupor. All right, well, Wisconsin, they've stolen 1 point. It's a start. See how many more they can steal. It's gonna be the hidden one. Most likely just going off of Horsey feeling quite good. Especially after a performance like that on the Hard Rock 2. Of course, it is going to be Horsey in the lobby again with his captain Potential and Slugcat again, I believe. No, not perma-lobbing actually, because Greeny did come in for that DT2. But it looks like Lemonade and Life Water not entering the lobby at all. It's going to be Potential and Horsey perma-lobbying with their third swapping between Greenie and Slugcat. Hidden one, just some pretty generic aim mechanics and a couple of awkward triples, spaced triples. Cytosine talking about some opinions he has on this song. And the opinions are coming from Osu map sets, so I think Cytosine as a mapper, I think we're able to infer a little bit on what his opinions might be, but we do have GLHFs in the chat. It is going to be Cytosine accompanied by Asa and Annoying Maniac, also known as Cursing, for NorCal, going up against this trio from Wisconsin. Asa, notably pretty good at the hidden one, maybe one of his better skill sets, I would even say, when it comes to the hidden side of his gameplay. And of course, Annoying Maniac struggles more on the reading side of things, but if it's just hidden aim, then he is more than capable. And Cytosine is as well, of course, going to be really comfortable on the hidden. We'll see how this one pans out for Wisconsin. Of course, it's always an uphill battle going up against the higher seed. But we are into this first TI, and we have seen some strange breaks from teams in here. Just a few act drops going to be giving the slightest of edges to NorCal, but there goes Annoying Maniac, and there is that strange break that I was just talking about. The combo is down, and with a little bit more time to scale, that should give the lead over to Wisconsin, as they are still holding on to 3 FCs. Yes, they do hold on into this first break. 44k is their advantage at the moment, and Cursing running a little oopsies into smoke on his screen. But yeah, this is one of those low SR things where it's FC or die, and if you don't FC, you can sometimes just die. And it seems like NorCal is the one that's doing a little bit of dying over here, as Wisconsin continue to grow this lead with the 3-way FC maintained. We'll see how much longer they can hold on to this for. Their advantage does finally cusp 100k score, and there goes Asa down. The hidden one aficionado for NorCal, and this is looking like a second point for Wisconsin in the making. The score keeps on climbing, 200k, 250k. And I think they have done enough to secure a point for themselves, a point of their own, as Horsey breaks into the ending, but it's not going to matter, especially as Annoying Maniac finds another miss for himself. And there goes Cytosine as well. All the combos are down for NorCal A. And it is a mini disaster for NorCal, as Wisconsin have managed to find themselves 2 points on the board. A break point and a glue point to consolidate. And though there's some incredibly impressive scores from the side of Wisconsin, Slugcat over 1 million score for himself, and potential just under 1 million for himself as well. And that is despite the ever so slightly better accuracy from NorCal, but at the end of the day, it is a combo game we are playing. That being said, this next pick, the Nomad 3, is one of those maps that is going to be harder to combo, you know, some awkward overlap reading, some 2-1-2 snap aim patterns as well. It's going to be quite tricky. Notably, this Nomad 3 slot was actually quite decent for Wisconsin in the qualifiers. Only around, actually not even 100k score gap between them and NorCal for a total of 3 seeding spots. 20th for Wisconsin versus 17th from NorCal. So we'll see just what they can do here. Just taking a quick look at who they had in for quals, it was Potential, Horsey, and Slugcat, and we did. It looks like we're actually gonna be seeing Slugcat step out for this one. However, gonna be letting Greeny play this one. It seems like they have derusted enough since returning from Japan. Let's play this. And on the other side, we have John Combo Game himself, cursing Annoying Maniac. This time accompanied by AJ Mosca and Cytosine. Cytosine on what some might consider his main skill sets. It's definitely one of his main skill sets, the Nomad 3 alt. Of course, well known for his aim control maps as well, throughout multiple rank ranges. Perhaps more known for the Cytosine's hard diffs and normal diffs in certain communities, but when he does map for himself, he does make quite a bit of aim control maps. But we are getting right into things. We have some snap alt action, and things are just gonna get pretty awkward once we get into the real meat and potatoes of this map. We are, of course, still in the early days, but already seeing those 2-1-2 snapping patterns that I was talking about. Not gonna be catching out anyone in the first iteration as we go into a little bit of a pre-course, build up into the first Ki. Right, here we go into this first Ki. Some quite largely spaced snap aim on top of those reading patterns. They're actually going to catch out Cytosine, traded not too long after by Horsey, so that is still going to keep the score line in check, as everyone else looks pretty comfortable through the rest of that first Ki. 2 full combos to 2 on the side of Cursing and Agent Mosca against Greeny and Potential. Cytosine perhaps still not fully derusted and used to tournaments again, as they have been decaying for quite a while. And actually, there he goes at the end of that little bridge section into the second verse. Looked like a slider break from him. And that will send things in the way of Wisconsin, as Horsey does have the superior recovery at the moment. Another one of those build-up sections into the final Ki. This is where things are going to decide things. If everyone just holds, then things are going to continue going Wisconsin's way. And actually, better than holding, that's a full wipe from NorCal. 200,000 is a score lead for Wisconsin. They're looking at another break point here. What is going on? NorCal is just collapsing in these past few maps. One by one, they crumble. The Titans, the long-standing Mr. Evil himself of Major League, of the entire 5-digit United States. But that means nothing in the round of 32. And Wisconsin showing up with an FC or a couple FC chokes from Greeny and Potential are going to bring them another break point. And what on earth is going on here? It is all tied up 3-3, ladies and gentlemen. Wisconsin seed 29, putting more than just a dent in the 4th seed of North California. That one was a solid punch to the face, if I'll say so. And it does sound like we have some audio bug. I'm not sure what that is, or if that's just maybe that is the teeth clacking from the NorCal players as their nerves start to set in of potentially getting upset by seed number 29. We do wait for Wisconsin's pick. It seems like that was just what the end of that MP3 sounds like. A little bit of a funky song and a funky outro as well. It's gonna be the no mod 4 for Wisconsin. And we might just have to throw this seeding book out the window as upsetting a difference of 29 placings on the Hard Rock 2. And then also getting another small upset on the Nomad 3. Perhaps more notably, getting an upset of 20 placings on the Hidden 1, where NorCal placed 3rd overall. And we are just going to see Potential and Horsey in once again the duo, this time accompanied by Slugcat. Slugcat and Greeny going back and forth as the third man, the third wheel to this oh so strong duo. Actually, not even a third man, as they have been putting up really good scores and contributing to the 2 break points that have brought them here to this tight scoreline. NorCal are going to be calling for a timeout. So we do have another 2-minute break after the initial 90-second match timer finishes up. And nobody in the lobby at the moment. Maybe we have someone in one of the other slots. Just making sure they have an eye on that timer. Snowmod 4, it's pretty different from what we saw in Quals. Still a little bit of slider tech, but it's definitely more on the flow and aim control side of things. A couple strange rhythms to read with some 1/2 sliders and cuts. Or, sorry, 1/4 sliders and 1/4 cuts. This artist, Red Side, I believe they also did an original for the 5-Digit World Cup 2025. And a couple other original songs for tournaments here and there. They do have some nice vibes to their beats. A little bit of fun, very techy, a little upbeat as well, as you can tell. But yeah, other than that, it's going to be a pretty standard low-tech map. Nothing too strange about the stats either, just some CS4 Air 9.2 OD8. The BPM also at a comfortable 170, so nobody really going to be getting speed checked on this one. The length clocking in at just over 2 minutes as well. We do see the players for NorCal finally trickling into the lobby. It looks like it will be Endmill and AJ Mosca, this time accompanied by John Combo Game, Annoying Maniac. We do have the good looks in chat. This looks to be our roster. Our rosters, plural. And yeah, surprisingly, no Azurium. I would have thought to see him in for either the Nomad 3 and Nomad 4, as he is quite good at both of that stuff. Also, maybe even the Hard Rock 2, I would have thought to see him in. But not exactly sure what's going on with him. Maybe a little bit busy with work and not playing the game too much. I'm not sure if it's actually work or if work is just code for my, but we will have to see. Maybe he'll come in for something later on in the match. So we do get into that first kiosk section. It's going to be Newish person the first to break on one of those burst patterns. Going to be missing another burst as well alongside AJ Mosca, and so that's quickly going to lead to an advantage for Wisconsin. As this lead is already almost 200k, in fact. Wisconsin holding on to some really good accuracies as well. The score lead is quickly climbing. They still have 3 FCs, and it's only 1 FC on an Annoying Maniac. Fortunately, he will hold on, and so do the recoveries into the break, but this is quickly turning out to be another disaster for North California. do have a little bit of a build-up section. A big stream. It's gonna catch out Horsey at the tail end of it. But here we go into the second Ki, some reverse sliders at some awkward angles and a little bit more of the same aim control we've seen so far. Reverse arrows not gonna be catching out anyone else, but I do think this 300k score gap might just be too much already. It looks like Wisconsin is gonna be able to secure another blue point for themselves. There's just nothing NorCal can really do at this point. They would need an entire collapse from the side of Wisconsin, but that's just not happening. Potential holding on so stable, as is Slugcat. These two FCs still going and going, pushing that score lead further. Not further in their favor, but keeping it in their favor long enough. And there we go. Ending slider art. And another glue point for Wisconsin. NorCal, the timeout not working in their favor. And they drop a 4th point to seed 29. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not NorCal to be the first to match a point. But it is Wisconsin. The humble Midwestern gamer from seed 29, poised in prime position to upset the longtime Titans of 5-digit United States Cup. It is a fast Force Mod 1 pick for NorCal. And this is where they will be placing their bets. Trying to save themselves from the embarrassment of such a huge upset. This Force Mod 1. Angelica 230 BPM, Air 9 CS 3.8, and OD 8.5, of course. None of those are going to matter if you're going hard rock. That will be AR 10, OD 10. And the CS will be just under 5, so a little bit comfortable. Not too out of this world. And actually, there have been some people saying that it's a little bit hard rock favored even due to the AR9 plus 230 BPM with a hidden, meaning the density is actually quite high. Now, of course, it's still a 5.6 star map. The density can't be that high, but when you do have AR9 and 230 BPM, it's got to count for something. We do have the GLHFs in chat, Potential and Horsey, accompanied by Slugcat once again. Horsey most likely on the hidden mod with, I'm guessing the other two will be on the hard rock. And for NorCal, we do have Cytosine, Asa, an Annoying Maniac. It's going to be Cytosine and Asa on the hiddens with Annoying Maniac on the hard rock. See if they can save themselves and be the ones to take Wisconsin to a tiebreaker. My goodness, I didn't think I'd be saying that line today. I don't think anyone in the right mind would have been expecting this situation to pan out how it did. It is the smallest of advantages out of the gate to NorCal, especially with Asa holding on to that SS. And a little bit lower accuracy across the board for Wisconsin, but as we approach that first Ki, all of that can change in the blink of an eye, as we've seen so many times so far this match. So many random misses, but instead it's going to be Slugcat the first to find a miss, the first to find a little slip up in this lobby. Everyone else holding on to the combos as Slugcat once again dropping recovery at the end of the first Ki. We are in a little break, but there goes Asa to trade. He will still stay ahead of Slugcat thanks to the accuracy difference and also just having only missed once, but there goes another strange miss from him. Some strange nerves kicking in on the low SR, thinking what is going to happen if we actually do lose to Wisconsin here. The pressure of playing up against match point despite being the higher seed. You would not expect it to get to a veteran like him having won the 5-digit World Cup, but yeah, you can have a badge, but you're in low SR territory, brother. You are not playing 7-star pools. This is 5.8 and Slugcat and Ace. We'll trade some more breaks. Horsey also dropping his combo. There goes down the FC, and perhaps NorCal can start to breathe a sigh of relief, especially as Slugcat misses on those wide aim patterns. It is just potential up against the double FCs of Cytosine and Annoying Maniac, and NorCal have finally built up a little bit of a comfortable buffer on this lead to just around 200k. As we are into a bit of a bridge section, going into the final TI section in just a second. Here we are into the ending. 300k is the score difference, and especially with Slugcat dropping his combo, I think NorCal have done more than enough. Props to Cytosine and Annoying Maniac for holding on to their combos, and I think they can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief in just a second. Slugcat continuing to miss towards the ending here, and it's just potential, still holding on to a respectable 97% FC, but they will not be closing it out in 8, and NorCal will bring themselves to tiebreaker. And what a precarious situation we have found ourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. Perhaps less so precarious and more just strange, as it is the higher seed of NorCal that has to force the tiebreaker onto the lower seed of Wisconsin. But regardless, I don't think anyone thought we were going to be stepping foot into this territory in this match of all 3 matches we had going on here. The most lopsided of the matches we have going on right now. But we have arrived here nonetheless. And it's going to be ABST React. I think that's supposed to be some strange spelling of abstract. Going to be by Acutic Notes. 5.73 stars. Clocking in at just over 5 minutes. 5 minutes and 11 seconds to be precise. And it's 200 BPM. Gonna be some mech techy, very light mech tech finger control mechanics. The stat line is actually a little bit interesting here, as we do see in the AR slot down at the bottom of your screen, it is AR 9. So maybe some of those no-mod players not going to be the most comfortable. Of course, if you are a hidden player, then you should be comfortable regardless. But CS 4.5 as well, if you aren't the most comfortable on AR9 no-mod, then on other maps, on normal maps, you might be a bit incentivized to take that Hard Rock mod and feel fine, just fine taking it. But the CS 4.5 does mean that it goes all the way up to CS 5.85, almost CS 6 with Hard Rock. So almost a precision map. And I think we are getting into the map but there was a wait call. I'm not sure entirely what's going on. Wisconsin are missing a player here. Now, it does look like Potential has loaded in. And it does look like Horsey was intended to be in the lobby. But we did get an abort to go through. Slugcat can't load the map, and Horsey is having a game issue. Have to wait a moment to see what goes on. We might have to see a game restart from one of these players.
Yo, hello Bless.
Hello. Welcome. We are in tiebreaker for NorCal versus Wisconsin. After Wisconsin managed to force TB, it was NorCal, or get to match point first. It was actually NorCal who had to force the TB off of their own pick. But it does look like the tech issues have been resolved. Horsey, unfortunately, not able to play, and so it will be Slugcat and Greeny The two Phils this time stepping in to accompany the lone star of potential. Up
Lone
against
Star mentioned. Sorry, had to
up
do it.
against the trio of Cytosine, Cursing, and AG Mosca. Once again, not seeing Skyzy in the lobby. A bit unfortunate for NorCal not to have arguably the best player. But we are getting
Oh, early
into
breaks
the
coming out for
tiebreaker.
Slugcat. Oh, and potential also misses. So this is going to be early a score lead for North California, especially with Cytosine's HD multiplier coming into effect. There are now 0 FCs remaining on the side of Wisconsin versus 3 for NorCal.
Yeah, and that is going to result in a 60k score lead that only is going to continue to increase as more combos keep on dropping from Wisconsin. Greeny, Potential, and Slugcat all dropping their combos. Now, we have seen this tiebreaker before, and we have seen a triple 1k combo with a hefty score advantage all drop in quick succession and lead to a comeback from the other team. If any of you watched that match. So you can't be resting on your laurels anytime soon on NorCal. Interestingly enough, however, Cytosine did opt for the hidden preference here. It seems like he really does want some help reading on the Air 9. Gonna go for the hidden preference, hidden comfort mod for himself. All the other players on NorCal still holding strong. 5USC holding into the 1,000 combo mark. And there goes Slugcat once again for Wisconsin, dropping one of the recoveries, but Greeny and Potential still holding on. And as I say that, there goes Potential as well, so it's just Greeny with a lone recovery to try and pull things back, and things have already gotten quite out of hand. There's already a 300k score advantage to North California, as their three-way combo FC just continues to balloon their score lead.
Yeah, unfortunately, the bottom players on Wisconsin just not finding their footing on this TV. Hopefully they did practice it, but yeah, really solid performance coming out of the 3 players on North California.
I mean, as the lower seed, I think you do have to practice because you can't reasonably expect to beat the higher seed without going to TB. Like, yes, there's a chance, but you really should be expecting that there's the most likely result, if you're going to upset, is that it has to happen through TB because it's just so difficult to win that many break points against a higher seed. Especially when the seed differential is like what it is, and unfortunately Potential going to be dropping his recovery as well. Greeny's still holding on to about 1,000 combo, but is just 3-way 1,500 on the side of NorCal, and I think this is where NorCal is just really showing their pedigree. These players so strong, and they've proven time and time again over the years. It is a 600,000 score lead, and this score lead is not going to stop growing anytime soon, especially as Slugcat drops his recovery. It is just Greeny on the lone 1,200 combo for his team.
Yeah, Annoying Maniac will finally miss, and so does Cytosine. So only 1 FC remaining on AJ Mosca for North California, but it is going to be way too late for Wisconsin to bring this back. North California finally locking in, finally showing us why they're seed 4. Little concerning for their viewers perhaps, but they did finally show us that dominance that we were looking for.
Yeah, and I think even if they hadn't gained any more score for the rest of the map, I don't think even then Wisconsin would be able to pull it back. 3 scores averaging just around 600k per, for a total of around 1.8 million team score. That is just about double that of Wisconsin at the moment, and with only a quarter of the map remaining, I think we can safely say goodbye to Wisconsin's hopes at a winner's bracket run. We will see them in that loser's bracket, however, from next week, and especially with with the performance they put up this week, I think they will have pretty good prospects for a lower bracket run. I wouldn't be too surprised to see them make a couple nice upsets down there. But for now, as we approach the end of this map, AG Mosca finally going to be dropping his FC, the last FC in the lobby, but there is nothing left to be said about this map. This case is closed, ladies and gentlemen, and with that, North California, after a little bit of a bumpy ride, a couple unfortunate breakpoints not going in their way, they will manage to close things out on the tiebreaker and move on to the next round of the upper bracket in the round of 16.
GG's, well played to both teams. Really, really, really good showing for Wisconsin against this tough opponent. Nearly bringing it back, but unfortunately not being able to quite match the firepower on North California on this tiebreaker. Excuse me. And I do want to point out the accuracies from Cytosine and AJ Mosca, especially Cytosine with the hidden, still highest accuracy in the lobby, and S rank even.
Yeah, and I mean, this really just exemplifies when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and NorCal are the tough in this case. Not seeing Skyzy today, I'm not sure what exactly happened with him, but that is neither here nor there, as they do eventually come away with a win. That is all for now. We will see you guys back in an hour on the A stream for some more Major League action. There at 21 UTC, we have Illinois versus Stateless. And then at 22 UTC, we have a minor league matchup of Florida B versus Michigan C, followed by just 15 minutes later, Michigan A versus Arizona A. So you do have a little bit of time to grab a snack, maybe some lunch if you're in one of those time zones on the western half of the United States. A little late lunch on a Sunday could do no harm. But for now, that is going to be all from us. We'll see you guys back in an hour. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.